All right, since I've been on the topic of Spotify lately, I thought I'd take an opportunity to show you guys some of the tools that are available to you in your Spotify settings or preferences, uh, where selecting some of these options may actually improve your listening experience. All right, now there's a lot of settings that pertain to privacy. Now, I don't really have any advice for you in regards to your privacy on Spotify. Keep in mind that Spotify, at some level, is a social app, so some of your stuff is going to get shared if you don't turn it off. So maybe take a look at those things yourself and make sure that you have your profile set up the way that you want it to. All right, but without further ado, we're going to get started with some cool stuff here. You may not know that Spotify has a crossfade feature. Okay, now if you go into your settings, you could actually select how many seconds you want the songs to overlap from end to beginning of the next song. All right, it maxes out at 12 seconds, and you could go everywhere in between, all the way to off. Now, my personal recommendations are figure out if you are listening to music or having music playing. All right, if you're just having music playing in the background while you're doing some activity or something, perhaps a 12-second crossfade, maxing that sucker out, is going to be what you need in order to minimize random and awkward silences, especially during like social gatherings or something like that. But if you are intentionally listening to music, let's say you're blasting it in your car while you're cruising down the highway or something, I would recommend bringing it down to 4 seconds, because now you're not getting a mess of noise as songs are overlapping, and you're not losing the punch at the beginning of some songs. So I think 4 seconds I've found to be a sweet spot. Try it out for yourself and see if you get the same results. All right. In regards to that, there's also a few other options here. You can choose gapless playback, which is more obvious if you're not using the crossfader. It just kind of minimizes the awkward silences in between songs. I always have that turned on myself. You also have an auto mix feature where, let's say I have the crossfade on, but I choose to listen to an album from beginning to end. Okay, and I let that album play from the first song to the next song and so forth. It'll actually readjust itself to play those songs back to back, like you were listening to that album straight off the CD. Okay, and there are some playlists that are on Spotify that are designed to mix in a certain way with a certain amount of overlap, crossfade, and turning that on allows the intended mix to come through rather than the seconds setting that you have. All right, so we have another one. It's called Normalized Volume. This is another one that takes some research to actually understand what it's doing. All right, now they give you a few different options of the volume level. They have basically loud, medium, and quiet. Or excuse me, not medium, normal. All right, if you have it set to normal, that's a sweet spot for, once again, having music playing in the background of whatever thing that you have going on. But it'll adjust the volume level of the songs from one to another to kind of match each other. So you don't have random songs that are just super loud and random songs that you can barely hear. Okay, it kind of keeps them on a level playing field. Now, you can also switch it to quiet, which does kind of the same thing, but it brings everything down to a softer level. I think that feature just comes in handy if you can't turn the volume low enough. All right, but if you choose loud, it's important to remember that that setting actually reduces the quality of the music that you're listening to. So keep that in mind. I'd say if you are intending to play music loud, your best bet is actually to turn this entire feature off, because the only thing at the end of the day that these volume level settings do is turn music down. Okay, by turning this setting off, it's allowing the music to play at the loudest volume that it was produced at. So if you're listening to loud music, they produced it loud. So most of them are going to be in that same range. So that's going to be a safe bet for you, especially if you're having a hard time getting your stereo system to sound like it's actually playing at a decent level. All right, let's check out a few other ones. Hey, you can allow explicit content, or you can actually turn that off. So if you're sensitive to vulgar language or something like that, you can actually have a say in what songs are played on your profile. That's pretty cool. I do include songs in my playlists that are not going to be family friendly. So if that's a concern for you, you could just go straight into your Spotify app and clean up the playlist just with that one button. So that's kind of cool. There's also another option there that says show unplayable songs. I have witnessed myself songs be put onto Spotify and removed over time, and I'll add them to playlists and then wonder, man, where did that song go? I haven't heard it in a long time. If you turn on this show unplayable songs option, you can actually see all the songs that have been removed or deleted, and you might need to go find the more refreshed version of that song, I guess. I've encountered that myself as well, and add that to your playlists, okay? If you ever feel like you're missing a song, that might be something worth looking into. Okay, so now we're coming into audio quality here. There's a data saver feature, and you can actually hit the button that says audio quality, and what that'll do is actually reduce the quality of the music that you're listening to in order to save data. So if you're playing music from your phone over Bluetooth in your car, you're going to use a lot of data streaming music, but if you turn this on, you're going to lose some of the quality, and a lot of the quality sometimes. But I don't have any network problems where I'm getting music dropping in and out. And I also have an unlimited data plan for my mobile network, so I'm not really concerned with saving data all that much. If you're in the same boat, you might want to just make sure that that thing is turned off so that you're listening to the best quality music that you can. Otherwise, hey, maybe you need to conserve the data that you're using. That might be a good feature for you. All right, there is an option here for mono audio. Now, if you don't know what that means, you should turn it off, okay? Because every situation where you're going to be listening to Spotify, you're going to have a stereo setup with a left speaker and a right speaker. If you select mono audio, it's going to play a meshed version of the music. It's going to be identical out of each speaker. So you're going to lose some of the space and size of some of the music that you're listening to. So just turn that off to be safe, unless you have some weird wiring situation in your environment, whether that's your house or a gym or something, and songs are like having problems because of how big the space is. Maybe you might want to consider turning that on, but I doubt that that's the case for you, so just leave it off. All right, you also have audio quality settings for all of these different categories for Wi-Fi streaming, cellular streaming, and you have an auto adjust quality feature, and also for downloads. You could change the quality levels for all of those situations. So if you're at home on the Wi-Fi, you can set it to very high. If you're using cellular data, you can bring it down a bit, and you can also change the quality of your downloads. If you don't have a lot of space on your device, maybe you could bring that quality level down and you won't run out of space so much. But for me, I max out the quality on all these things because I'm just like that, okay? I can tell when there's missing quality in music, and it bugs me. So I figured I'd share this with you guys so that you can make the same changes and improve your listening experience with Spotify. There's one last thing, and that's going to be the equalizer. Your device may or may not support an equalizer setting in your Spotify menu. But if you don't know what it does, I'd say turn it off. By keeping it flat, you're going to get the music at the volume level that it was intended to be at, and most of the other features are going to work together as best as possible. So I can get into equalizer stuff more later, but I'm running out of time on this video, so I'll let you guys go. Stay tuned. I'll see you on the next one.